I've always been fascinated by the whole process of pre-fermentation, fermentation, then dough ripening, then degassing. And I thought, well, I can do a time lapse. The great thing about time lapse, of course, is you can actually see those little bubbles growing in front of your very eyes. You don't get to see that when you're actually the baker. It all happens very slowly, so there's not much to see. So you can see that the pre-ferment has done its thing, and now we're starting to build some dough. It takes a while to build dough by hand. It's best done slowly, allowing there to be a little bit of gluten development and then a bit of rest. But where we are now is before all that happens. This is called the autolyse or shaggy dough. In real life, autolyse or shaggy dough stage probably takes a couple of hours when you're not using the machine, but no longer than that. Then we add salt, and as you can see here, distributing it all over the dough before that salt gets docked in and worked through the dough. The next part of the video is going at a huge pace, because the more work you can put into a dough mechanically, in other words, the more kneading you do by hand, the better the dough will be. So as you can see, I've done quite a lot of it here. But gradually, it starts to come together. You can see the shininess on the outside of the dough. Now it's really starting to look like dough. Test the window, still not good enough, needs more work. This dough is probably a fairly high hydration in the first place. There we are, we're putting that dough to bed. It's had an overnight rest, and you can see it's gassed up overnight. We break it into two and round each chunk. And we pop them back in their plastic container, wet them with our hands, and put the lid on, let them have a rest, and this is what they look like when they've regassed. So this is the second proof. Bit more work to round them up again. Now we dust the table with semolina, coat the ball of dough with semolina, and slash. Two different styles there. Pop a lid on them so they can have a final proof. It's a third proof, we call that. Notice the dough is shinier and ripe. You can see it's ripe, looks like brie cheese. Scoop them off into the oven, and about an hour and a quarter later, that's the first one, that's the second one. Nicely baked, good colour cross.